Hey there, my name is Lauren LoGrasso, and I'm here with the phenomenally talented actress-singer Taylor Hickson. I'm so excited for you to get to know her. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yo, I'm here with Taylor Hickson. She's an actress, singer, known for her work on Deadpool, Aftermath, and Hunting Pignut. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
she is
Crazy
also a singer and a Canadian, which means she's awesome. And I'm excited to get to know her. I hope you are too. And what are we listening to right now, Taylor?
Body Moves by GNC.
I love this. I feel so pumped up.
I was trying to think of something other than Taylor Swift.
Yes,
Taylor Swift.
I mean, she makes some hits. We
Oh, she
gotta
does.
be honest. I'm not mad at it.
No.
So Taylor, tell me, I've read so much about you. First of all, I guess we should say where people can find you on the internet. Do you want to share your social media?
Sure, yeah. Basically, if you punch me into Google, most of it will come up. But
Punch her in.
Yeah, punch her in. Is that a Canadian thing?
I think so. That's
maybe.
cute.
So on Instagram, I'm Taylor.Hickson. That's the only time my handle's different. But yeah.
I didn't even know you could use a dot. Wow.
Me either. I know.
You're an
I was
innovator.
trying to. I know, right? So yeah, revolutionary. And then my Twitter is just Taylor Hickson.
Nice.
And then Facebook's just Taylor Hickson.
Okay.
If you punch in like official Taylor Hickson, I think is like the full link.
Oh, okay.
But if you just put in Taylor Hickson, it'll come up.
Keeping it real. I like that. It's
real.
got to be uniform because that makes it easy for people to find you and
Yeah.
follow your career.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you are doing some really amazing things right now.
Thank you.
I'm so interested in your journey though, because I read that you left high school a year early to pursue music.
I did. Yeah.
You did. So how did the music thing transform into the acting thing, or were they always interlinked?
Never.
Never.
I had, like, I say I don't have experience, but when I was little, I needed a lot of attention. So my
Needed.
mom, yeah, I needed, like, desperately. And my mom would put me into, like, dancing. And she put me into, I did ballet, jazz, and then she figured out that I was really uncoordinated. But I wouldn't do sports. I was too much of a sort of princess, even though I dressed like a boy. I just refused to touch it. And, we tried these like acting, musical theater things growing up, and I was classically trained in musical theater, but it was more about the music, just because my singing teacher said, I want you to try this, it would help you improve in these areas.
Right.
And so I did a lot of like classical training, piano theory and such, but yeah, I never really had much acting besides like school plays, just because my friends were organizing. They're like, hey, like you would fit this part really well. So I did like the Mad Hatter and Alice in Wonderland, and then I did this. They had a singing part for Jack and the Beanstalk, so I was the giant's wife.
Oh, nice.
So I did that. So it was just like little school plays. So I never took acting seriously. It was just for my friends and for fun.
Wow.
Yeah, and so my aunt's sister, I call her my aunt. She's not actually my aunt. She's an established actress out in Vancouver, BC, Canada, and she was, came across this agent that joined her agency, and he was looking to build his roster. And he was looking for teenagers, and she's like, okay, well, I know like of a couple. And then she showed him my picture, and he's like, yeah, like she's interesting looking, she's not quite generic. So I was like, okay. And I was like, I don't know if that's like a backhanded compliment, but
No, I don't think it is. I mean, because
No,
you're strikingly beautiful, but you're not like the normal, just like blonde hair, blue eye. You have a different kind of look to you, which is really cool.
Yeah, sometimes it's a curse and a blessing that I'm not. I always wish that I had the Hollywood look, but I think it's
so
the reason
boring,
it is.
though.
It can be,
Yeah.
and it's the reason that I book parts. It's also the reason that I miss out on stuff, but it's the reason I think that I book the roles I do, which is it's awesome. And there aren't a lot of people that look like me, and yeah, I'm proud of that. But my aunt was like, hey, you should come in and audition, and I'm like, I live 4 hours away from the city. I'll never come down. And that weekend, my sister had a soccer tournament in the area, and I went and auditioned. He signed me that day, and then 3 weeks later, I booked my first part.
Wow.
So I've been doing it ever since. It was so random, and it's been such a whirlwind. I just passed sort of my 2-week anniversary of signing the agency this past weekend, and I was at Whistler Film Festival.
Wow.
So that was fun.
That's amazing. I've heard Worcester. That's how you say it. Whistler. I've heard it is the most beautiful place.
It's stunning.
It's like a winter wonderland.
It is. It's it's like a Christmas town. It's so festive and beautiful. People are awesome. There's a lot of like volunteers from New Zealand and Australia.
Really? Because they want to see snow?
I guess they're on like summer hiatus kind of over there, which is weird. So they come.
Right.
It's summer there, and then they come here for winter to see snow. But yeah, it's really strange, but yeah, they love it. And we have a place called Big White in Kelowna too, Okanagan Valley. It's like a smaller version of that, so it reminded me of my home, which was nice.
So you live out here now most of the time?
I'm all over the place. I don't really am never more than one place for like 2 months of the year. Besides, Aftermath.
And where does that
6
film?
months. That was actually Vancouver.
That was Vancouver.
It's just outside of Vancouver, like Langley, BC. But it takes place in Seattle and Washington, and there's some places in Idaho, and we're like all over the place.
So is it possible at this point, because so much is filming in Canada, could you just stay there and have your whole career be there and still be on American television?
Absolutely. I'm a firm believer in that. Every time I book something that comes to LA, it's supposed to come to LA, it moves up to Canada, because I think we have like great tax credits and it's beautiful. Man, and people are awesome. I want to
move to Canada. I grew up in Detroit, which is right outside of Windsor. So my grandma was born there, and just the people are just like the salt of the earth, the kindest human beings.
It's so fun.
I got to ask you, because there's so much going on in this country, United States right now. How are the Canadians viewing us at this moment?
I mean, that's such a difficult question, because everybody's so individual. Everyone has their different beliefs and opinions and stuff. But we're hoping for the best for you. We're neighbors to you guys, so we share a lot of what happens down here. It influences us up there. So we're hoping for the best, and we're sending positive vibes down to you guys.
That's so nice. I thought you were gonna be like, we think you're idiots.
No, I mean that's the vote was so like
it was
half and half, right?
That's what made it scary though, because you're like,
the thing.
These people, I mean, not to give everything away, but to give everything away, like there's been like 50% of this country that we're like, you've been hiding and really feeling this way the whole time, you know? And so that was a scary thing. But I think it's also hopeful, because the majority did vote in a certain way. So
absolutely, because of what was going on. So I think it got a lot more people out to vote than like previous years, which was really
that's encouraging.
Very encouraging.
That's like a great. I think instead of like WWJD, you can still say that, but like WWCD, what would a Canadian do? Because I feel like the way you spun that was just like such a beautiful way, and to give into a stereotype, but I found it to be true with pretty much every Canadian person I've ever met, that you guys just have such a kind way about you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know how that spans throughout an entire country, but I really respect that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I respect that. You respect that.
Yeah, you should be proud of where you're from.
I am.
So with acting, when you first started doing it, was it completely natural for you? Did it feel out of body? What was that like?
As I got into it, a lot of it was very technical. I was trying to grasp that part of it, find your mark, find your light.
Finding the mark is hard.
That's yeah. So it's things like that kind of took away from the emotional aspect. Was like the whole Hollywood,
the technicality.
Just understanding how much there was to it and how exhausting it is and how long the days are. So this was all really, really new to me, and I had to learn really fast the business side of it, the financial side of it, and as a 16, 17-year-old, it's a lot. These people who are child actors, their parents kind of understand the industry, and they have a good understanding, and I was quite by myself. I didn't, no one in my family knew the business, and so it can be a bit lonely, the industry at times, and a lot of my friends don't come from that, so they didn't understand. Coming out of high school, they just went, oh, like she's too busy for us, kind of thing. So when you're coming out of high school, it's like trying to, because they were still in high school while I was doing this, and they're like, oh, she's too busy for us. She went out, and so it was like, kind of helped me figure out what people I need in my life, and the people that I have. Two of my best friends, Kayla and Natasha, they'll always be there when I come home, and I have lots of like guy friends, and guy friends are like less picky. All my friends are guys, but my two girlfriends, they're my family, so when I come home, they get it.
Always keep them with you, because the people who you grew up with, there's something special there. They
absolutely.
understand you in a way that nobody else can, because you never have to
Yeah.
explain yourself to them.
No, I don't. They understand. They say, you know what, she loves us, and she will talk to us when she can and when it's right. And you know, they're always at home waiting for me, like my family. So that's awesome. And my friend Kayla, I've been friends with her since kindergarten.
Wow.
So it's been a long journey. She now has a little baby. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah.
Wow. It's interesting though too, because I mean you're way young, but like it's so different when you're in this industry versus when you're, you know, back home working a normal job. Like
Two worlds.
two different worlds.
Oh, yeah.
So to associate, it's like when I hear my friends having a baby, I'm like, oh no, and I'm like, wait, she actually wants that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But for me, if that was happening to me, I'd be like,
Totally, yeah,
Yeah.
but it was absolutely her choice. She was very young, and I'm very proud of her. She you know, when I was there, I like held her hand through the whole thing. She almost broke my hand. It was like 5 a.m. She called me and drove an hour out to where she lives, and yeah, and she had her baby, and it was birth control for me.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
I was like, oh my god, I would never want to do that. But
I'm sure it's horrifying. I've never seen a birth.
oh, she was so tough. Like she didn't use any sort of pain. It was insane.
She didn't get an epidural.
No,
Oh.
she's tougher than nails. She's crazy.
Good for Kayla. Shout
Yeah,
out to Kayla.
shout out to Kayla.
We love you.
We love you.
Strong woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the cool thing. It's like if we can have babies, like women can bear life. We are
That's
the future of this
insane.
generation. What can't we do?
Oh my god, no, you know, there's
Capable
nothing
of
we can't do.
anything.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, this industry has been notoriously tough on females.
Oh yeah.
Have you dealt with any of that so far in your career?
Not personally, but I've watched it happen in front of my eyes. You know, and I've been very grateful to walk into the generation that's promoting women in film. You know, so I've gotten the chance to work with incredible female directors and producers and crew members and, you know, other actresses that, you know, like Anne in the
I
series.
love
She drives
Anne.
the series, right?
We had
So-
her on our serious show. She's like the funniest person. I
Oh,
feel like
she's
nobody knows
awesome.
how funny she is.
She's so like blunt and,
Yeah.
and just here I am kind
Yeah.
of thing. She's incredible. Yeah, I miss her. I was gonna try. I think I'm gonna try and get together with them while I'm down here, depending on where they are. But yeah, I miss them.
I can't believe she acts with her husband too. Like, what a cool, weird thing.
I know, it's bizarre. When I tell people that, they're like, I'm like, no, they're married, and they're like, yeah, in the show.
In the
no.
show.
I'm like, no, in real life, like they have a child together, and they're like, you guys, and I'm like, no, no, like they have 2 kids, like yeah, and they're like, oh, that's crazy. So that's what a whirlwind kind of thing, and props to them, like having
Yeah.
you know, that's hard being in this industry, both of them, and then, you know, having to bring up their 2 kids and
Right.
they've done such an amazing job. The kids are awesome, so cute.
Aw.
So
That's good to hear. No, I thought she was just like so down to earth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just really tells it like it is.
She
And I
totally
think a lot of people don't know that because, you know, like there were controversies in the past, whatever. But she's a kick-ass woman.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've talked to her
Great
many times
actress.
how much I respect her and her. She's just very like opinionated in a great, the best
Yeah.
of ways. You know, like she doesn't.
And
take
it's
shit
hard to
from
be
anyone.
honest.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be honest because people, especially in this social
This-
media age and in this
absolutely.
industry, and you're a face right in front of them, people are going to be prone to be jealous and to be judgy.
Mm-hmm.
But to say how you feel, that's not an easy thing when there are people coming at you all the time.
Absolutely, I don't know how many times I've started looking and been like, oh, well, what if I, you know, or my, like, you know, change my face, and then I'm like, what am I thinking? It's you have to be constantly reminding yourself that you're not a magazine cover. You're a person.
I am enough.
Yeah, I'm enough. Absolutely. I tell myself that. I started doing this really weird thing that, you know, like it's in the movies, people make fun of. I go in the mirror every day. I swear to God, it helps with your self-confidence. So
Just that. Do you
that's my
say
advice.
anything when you...
Sometimes.
For,
Depends on the
for
day.
anyone
I'm
who's
like,
listening, she's doing a wink in the gun.
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I give myself pep talks in the mirror. Like when I'm
Oh,
having serious
totally.
anxiety.
Totally.
Just look in the mirror and like, you can do this. You're great. You're awesome. Even if you don't believe it, just saying it, I think, helps reinforce those ideas.
Yeah, I was literally standing like head to toe in the mirror. I was completely naked. I was just like looking at myself, and I was like, you know, and I think there's a great, I think it's, what's the movie called? Secret, or the Life of an American Teenager or something. It's got
Oh, yeah.
Belle Powley, I think. her
Is
name
that one out recently?
it takes place in the 70s, and you know, she's standing in the mirror and she's looking at her body, and I was like, I I get it. I vibe with that so hard. And, you know, she's just like pulling things and tucking. And I was like, yeah, I was like, everybody does that. It's so sad, but it's just, you know, and it gave me kind of hope because she finally goes, you know what? Yeah, I'm enough.
Yeah.
I'm enough. I'm beautiful. You know, I've 2 arms and legs and so
And thank
everything
you
that
for
works.
legs for carrying me around and helping me walk. And thank you for my sight. Like, we get so wrapped up in what we're not that we forget what we
my
have
God.
and what we are.
Preach. I was walking in here. I was with Levi Meaden from the show and Ariel Winter, his girlfriend. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's so amazing. They're great. But we were walking in the studio, and there was a man outside with no legs being carted in a wheelchair, and you know we just took a second to go, you know what, how lucky we are. Absolutely. So funny how life is. But
It is, but that's so cool that you get that at such a young age. Do you know how many people go their whole lives without ever having that realization? And that you get that in this industry, and that you can be spreading that message that's powerful. So I hope you continue to do that. Because right now we're at a point where I think we can really go in the right direction. But it's going to take a concentrated effort from all of us.
oh yeah,
Especially women.
especially
You know, and we can't be dragging each other down. We can't be competitive. We need to lift each other up
That's
and
the
work
thing.
together.
Yeah, like that's what I don't get is why we attack each other.
Or even,
We all have a common goal. We're all you know,
Yeah.
we're just trying to do our why
and the more we help each other, the more opportunities there will be. And I get it's come from a place historically, obviously, of patriarchy. I knew that I had my cell phone on my lap and knew it was going to drop. Like during this important conversation.
Yeah.
No, but it's become, you know, the patriarchy, but also because historically there have been less parts for us, or like less opportunities to be singers or whatever it is.
Yep,
less
absolutely.
opportunity to be a director.
Of course.
But it's opening up now. And the more we support each other, the more openings there'll be. And like, there's no one like you, you know? And there's no one like me,
that.
and there's no one like, you know, anyone else out there. So you've got unique talents, own what you are, and uplift other people. So keep putting that message out there,
Thank
because it's
you.
really, really
Thank you.
important.
I just attended it was sort of like a ceremony, just like it was just an uplifting presentation. It was a woman in film breakfast.
Oh, Maria was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like women on top.
Yeah.
So
With
inspirational.
Ryan Murphy, right?
Yeah, so amazing.
Will you tell us a little bit about what he said? Because he's doing this program,
I missed
right?
that.
Oh, you did?
I came in halfway through, and it was still. But like you walk in the room, and you just that energy was there.
Yeah.
So I was flying in. So
Oh,
I
bummer.
The roads are awful.
What I
and
heard is he's going to be hiring half women. Like half of everybody he hires is
That's
going to be women.
absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So he's like,
I'm
if
so
you know a
behind that.
female grip, I'm looking for one.
Oh yes.
So it's really, really exciting. We're in
That's
such a
beautiful.
great time, and it's really exciting when you see men who are willing to put themselves on the line for us.
That's
like
beautiful.
that,
I
I
love
have so
that.
much respect and love.
Oh yeah.
But I'm glad that you were there, because that's really important.
It was so important to me, and it was just a woman, room filled with women, with they all had a common goal, and they're all it was so beautiful just to see them all holding hands with each other, and they're like, yeah, we got this, instead of them attacking each other, and that's what's so hard, you look on Instagram, there's all these women trying to be this certain way, but it's
What do you
we
think
forget.
about that? Like, what is that?
I mean, I think the biggest misconception is that they don't understand how insecure we are ourselves. Because there's always that, no matter how hard we try, we're always judging each other. And the sad thing is just, how can you get rid of it besides work on yourself individually and try to spread the message? But it's,
That's the only
It'll
way you
always be there.
can. The
It's
best thing
sad.
I ever heard was, you can't spot it unless you got it.
absolutely.
So
100%.
when people are saying something to you, or even talking to you in a certain way, it's because they're talking to themselves that way. And if you can realize that, you can have more compassion. But I think it does start with, you have to look inward and say, all right, who am I, and what am I lacking that I'm putting this on another human being?
Yeah, but I look at my sister or something, and because we openly talk about it, I'm like, I want your skin, your nose is so cute. Oh my God, I want your eyelashes or something. And she talks about the stuff that I take for granted on my face, and she's like, oh, my skin, and I'm like, she's beautiful skin. So it's, if you want what you can't have, and that's in all aspects of life. So
Right.
but we take for granted
What we
the
do
beautiful
have.
parts of us, and you gotta own it. You got what you got.
That's right. You do got what you got.
Got what you got. own it.
So you've done all these amazing parts. You said Deadpool was your first speaking role.
Yeah, it was my first speaking role. I kind of like one liner that I did as it was like they did a favor for me because I was supposed to book the lead role in this short film that was produced by Stephanie Meyer, the writer of the Twilight Saga, and she's doing all these spin-offs. And so it was like Lionsgate funded a $50,000 short film, and these two the Spears sisters.
Britney Spears?
No.
It was like Jamie Lynn and Britney?
No, Keely Sam Spear. Yeah,
That's awesome.
They're great. No, yeah, more women in film. They wrote, directed it. I think they helped cut it, and they were amazing. But there's some talk about me booking the role, but they wanted to chop my hair off and dye it brown because I was meant to play Alice from Twilight.
Oh, okay.
So the little pixie girl.
I read all those books.
Yes. So it just didn't really work, and they ended up going with Paloma Kwiatkowski, who I now know. She's a great friend of Levi's.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, she's great. She did such a good job with it, and she was definitely right for the part. But I'd already booked Deadpool, so I couldn't cut my hair. Yeah.
Would you ever, if you didn't have something like that holding you back, would you have cut it and dyed for that part?
I want to cut my hair off, but I don't know about dyeing it brown. I like my natural hair color.
Yeah, and
I'm
so many
very picky
people
about it.
pay for that hair color. So
Oh, thank you.
It's true.
So my
that-
grandma says she used to look at my hair because it gets really blonde this summer. She's like, looks like spun gold. I'm like, Grandma, stop. But that's the thing. We take that kind of stuff for granted because I used to not care about my hair, but it's, I like my natural hair color, and I think it suits me, and it's what comes out of my head, and it's supposed to be there.
It's there for a reason.
Yeah,
definitely.
and I think it accents me in a way that suits me. So
Yeah, so it's a maybe. If it was like the right part, you might.
Definitely if it was for, a part that I really cared about and I thought was really gonna, drive my career. If I'm like looking at this and I'm like, yeah, this is TIFF bait or something. Like
What's
this,
that? TIFF bait?
TIFF. TIFF bait. I don't know if this is a Canadian reference. Toronto International Film Festival.
Oh, okay.
So it's a massive film festival that goes on up in Canada, and yeah, if I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, this is TIFF bait. This is
so
bait
cool.
for TIFF. Then, like if I think it would really propel my career and it would be good for me and challenge me, yeah, if I thought it would do well in film festivals and such, yeah, totally I would do it.
TIFF
Totally.
bait. Okay.
TIFF bait.
We'll find you a TIFF bait role.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I think I'm looking at one in April.
Oh,
and I think
okay.
it's got potential.
Good vibes.
Good vibes. TIFF vibes.
TIFF vibes.
TIFF vibes.
Sending the bait your way. So what was Ryan Reynolds like?
He actually apparently was like walking around at the party.
Last night?
Last night, yeah. He walked by.
What was the party
he was
you were
outside.
at?
It was a party for NY Magazine and Vulture. It was like their inaugural. They're doing some Oscar coverage or something. So they're
Okay.
just celebration.
Nice.
And Natalie Portman was there. She's a cover girl.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I got to briefly speak with her, and she's really sweet.
I've heard she's very
She's
nice.
very sweet, very
Yeah.
down to earth and such. So it was great. It was great. Great people and great atmosphere, and it was awesome.
Yeah. So did you get to interact with him much when you were on set?
I did the whole time. The whole time because he was producing. So he was kind of like half directing me. So he was like, originally I wasn't supposed to hug him, I think, and we changed some lines, and quite a few lines were cut actually.
On the spot?
No.
Oh.
Well, he added in a line on the spot. We might have cut something on the spot. But it was his idea. He's like, you know what? I feel like there would be more energy in the scene if she comes up and hugs me. And I'm like, yeah. Great idea. Wow. I'm like, genius. Mwah, genius. I was like, yes.
So, like, explain the emotional life that's happening in you as you're about to go ahead and hug Ryan Reynolds.
I was really scared because I've never had a camera that close to my face. And I was, like, twitching. And I was like, they're not going to be able to use any of these takes because I'm twitching in my face. But, I was, like, freaking out. I was just really nervous. And there's, like, hundreds of people running around me. They all know what they're doing. They're all, everything's so choreographed. And we had 30 extras and 10 sort of professional skaters. So they were like running around, and then we had other people sitting around us. And then when I showed up, there was 3 girls, because there was 2 other girls in the scene with me that are my friends. there's 3 girls, and they all looked and were dressed exactly like us. And I was like, what? Are they, like, replacing me? And I didn't understand because I was so new to the industry. I'm like, they're like, okay, we'll have the real ones put in. I'm like, they're standing in for me. I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, because the other indies I'd done, I just stood in for myself.
Right, because they don't have the budget for that.
No, of course not. So I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, that girl looks like me. And I'm like, she's like looking at me because I was just staring at her. I was like so starstruck. I was like, and she was like, what? Like, something in my face? What?
You might be the first star that got starstruck by your stand-in.
My own stand-in?
I love that.
Super weird, but
it's not weird.
cool.
It's actually, stand-ins are such a strange concept.
Totally.
But it's awesome.
But it makes sense. Like, it saves time, when they're trying to do lighting setups and such.
Right.
And you're finishing up in hair and makeup. So
or
whatever you're doing.
It actually saves money overall.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, absolutely. And it just makes sense time wise. And I used to think it was kind of silly. I didn't understand, but I get it now.
Yeah,
I get it now for sure.
Would you say
he smells like a pine tree, which is awesome? I tell everybody.
Oh
that
my
he
gosh,
smells like a pine tree.
That's a dream come true.
He just I don't even know if he was wearing cologne. Like, he just smelled like
I bet you
the
he was
best
just
man
like in
smell.
the woods earlier,
I
chopping
was
down.
just like full lumberjack. And he was wearing the funniest outfit. He was wearing like this sort of bomber jacket, like leather bomber jacket. They look like they come from. We have a store called Spencer's. I don't know if you have it here.
We do.
Yeah, so they look like they came from Spencer's. They're like neon green framed aviators, and then he kind of like looks at them and tosses them in the scene, which he added was just funny. And he's wearing this really, again, it looked like he was from Spencer's, really weird muscle tank with I think like a grandma's face on it or something like that. It was like, I was like, it's so weird. And then it had like blue trim, but he took off the jacket because he was hot, and I was like, I had no idea how huge he was. He's so ripped.
Wow.
And so I was like, and then when I hugged him, it was like a cement statue. It was crazy. It was like, someone's like, you gotta touch his butt. And I was like, that'll make a good blooper. But then I remembered he just had a baby. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that.
But the character didn't just have a baby.
No.
So next time, get up in that Reynolds ass.
Totally. Yeah, it was awesome.
It's all for the sake of acting. That's how you spin it, you know?
Yeah. And I saw TJ Miller there last night, too.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, he was just, like, walking up and down the street.
Did you get to interact with him at all?
No, he was, I was going to go say hi, and then, because I didn't get to meet him.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't. So,
he's so funny.
He's hilarious. Oh, my God.
I can't believe his comic timing. Also, Ryan Reynolds, like, I don't know, because when someone's that strikingly gorgeous, I'm always like, I don't expect them to have a personality.
Skeptical? Yeah. You're like, there can't be anything else to you.
What happened to him as a child that he's that funny?
Yeah,
something horrific must have happened to him
like
as a
Just
kid.
Friends. I'm like, I bet you that was based off of it. Like, he must have looked like that. He must have been like obese or ugly or something.
Or like some terrible tragedy happened to him because you
like
don't
ugly
get to
duckling syndrome.
Yeah. God bless. Is he really nice too?
He's exactly like his character, just like the sarcastic, witty, but he does it in a way that's not hurtful, like not like demeaning or condescending. So it's you're just like, why am I not insulted by that? That's so funny. But yeah, he's so great and very supportive, and at the end of it, he gave me another hug. He's like, you were awesome, kid. Like, thank you so much. And I was like,
that's so sweet.
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan, Mr. Pine Tree Man.
Mr. Pine Tree Man. I know, he's great.
So, okay, so we're doing acting. You're doing so well with acting.
Thank you.
Really successful. Singing was your original love.
Yes.
Are you still pursuing that?
I totally am. I want to try and write some stuff this January, hopefully record an EP at least.
Yeah.
But everything I write, I end up chucking out because I'm so
picky,
so hard on myself. And it would be that way with acting if it were my choice. So I'm glad. That's what I love about this industry, is that it's not my choice. When I do it, it's done. I gave 100%, and then it's in someone else's hands to, distribute. Whereas if it's in my hands, I will sit and pick and pick and pick and pick and then go, I don't like this anymore. And I do it with all like my photos too. I'll take it. I'm like, you know what? I kind of look half presentable in this photo. I'll post it and I'll be like, oh my God, I look like Shrek.
Shrek is cute though.
That's definitely subjective.
Yes, it is.
He could be. He could be. Someone's like, no, it's more like Fiona.
Yeah.
So my friends with that, I was like, you're more Fiona. I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, thanks.
I think. But,
So it's just sometimes you just gotta get it out there, though. You know, I think art can be messy, and that's okay.
I love that. That's the beauty of it. And and the music I write, I don't really write it for it to be successful. I write it for me, which is why I've been okay with not releasing anything, but I really want to share it now.
Do you perform at all, like just even at local clubs?
I used to. That was all I did from like 13 to 16. Was me and my dad. We'd go and perform my songs. There's a few things on YouTube. I think
I watched one of them.
There's a few, and I used to write more kind of like country folk.
Yeah, I heard you singing Jolene.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was awesome. But now I write more like alt folk.
Okay.
So it's
your voice is perfect for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You should go strongly in that way, and I can
really
see
airy, mellow,
airy but pretty and still strong.
Kind of haunting. Yeah.
Cool. I could see you getting lots of music placements. So you should start doing that, especially because you're an actress. You can just like cozy up to whoever's music supervisor is and be like, I wrote this song. Check it out.
Check it.
Yeah, you should keep doing that and like play around here, like even a show at the Hotel Cafe.
Yeah. I was I was thinking about that, and I'm kind of thinking about getting a band. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I was looking into it right when I started booking, and then I couldn't. I was finally finding people to make a band, and then I was. Then I had to go. Yeah, then I was gone, and I've kind of been going ever since. But yeah, I don't have anything till April, and
you'll be up in Canada?
That could change.
That can always change.
I think I'll be, because my family's up in Canada, so I'll probably be up there. You never know, but I might, depending on when Levi comes, I might come visit him down here, or when he leaves, because he's going to film.
So you two are like best friends.
Me and Julia and Levi are very, very close.
We're very sweet.
Close. Yeah, I miss Julia so much.
Where is she?
I think she's in Montreal. She's filming with Evan Rachel Wood right now. It was so weird because I auditioned for the same thing, and I was doing callbacks for it. That happens so often because we look so alike.
You do, because you play twins on the show.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and everyone's like, isn't that weird? Like, go like being friends with your competition. I'm like, no, dude. We like, she books something, I book something. She books something, I book something, and it's some stuff isn't right for me, and some stuff, it's better for her.
You shine, I shine.
Yeah. And it's like, people are like, there's no clash. I'm like, no, dude, she's such a beautiful person. You like, it's impossible to hate Julia Sarah-Stone. She's so cute. And, she's just like a little bookworm, so down to earth, and she deserves everything she gets and more and more. She deserves everything. She's just a beautiful, beautiful person. So I'm so happy for her right now. Yeah, she's having lots of fun. She spent her birthday out there alone.
Where is she? What did you say?
Montreal or Quebec? I think she's Montreal.
So it really is all in Canada.
It seems to be. I mean,
so great.
Yeah.
For you, like, I know I miss home every day, but that's so great that you get to be home.
Yeah, the movie I'm working on right now we're shooting Winnipeg, but it's supposed to be shooting here, and I was like, okay, awesome. So I started packing my bathing suit, and they're like, just kidding, you're going to Winnipeg, pack your parka, and I'm like, wow, kill me. So, but I haven't seen that part of Canada, so that was awesome. And I got to see Newfoundland, which I hadn't seen, which is all the way on the other side, from the West Coast. And so that was awesome. It's totally different way of living, totally backwards. It's like a different country.
Really?
Yeah, so crazy.
What's different about it?
It's just the people, and they kind of have an accent and just their way of living. A lot of them are quite traditionalist, and there's so much like ethnic combination. It's you have like Scottish people, Irish people, kind of English people, Welsh people, and they're all like, and then it all combines to make a Newfoundland accent. It's so bizarre.
Wow, I was just like really taking in what you were saying. That's a strange accent.
So strange.
I don't know what that would sound like. I'll look it up when I leave here.
It's very strongly like Irish meets Scottish meets Canadian. That's like the three prominent. Wow. It's like, I feel like they say stuff like me bye, like me boy,
like maybe
me boy, my boy, like
me bye,
me bye. Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Like where are you to? That's the
where are you going?
Where are you going? Or sometimes it means where are you from? Where are you to? I can't do it very well, but it's like it means like where are you from? And I'm like, where am I going? They're like, he's like, no, me bye. Where are you to? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking?
So they call everyone me bye.
Kind of, yeah. Like the really strong. It's a lot of older people talk like that, like the people that have lived there all their lives.
The elders.
Yeah. They're quite traditionalist, and but they're very welcoming, and there's so much, like so colorful there, like the jelly bean housing. And
What is that?
it's like all that. It's like all town housing, almost like these tiny little houses, and they're like red and green and blue and all these really bright colors. You get like pink houses with bright green trim. It's so strange. Like it looks like Candyland.
Ooh,
It's so strange.
live
It's
there.
beautiful, and it's all on a bay. All like they're all up on like the hill
Stilts.
going down into the bay.
Oh.
So it's and the roads are crazy. It's you'll never see anything like that or meet anyone like that. It's its own thing. So it's really interesting. But every time I book something in LA, it moves to Canada. So
There you go.
there you go.
Keep taking you back home.
Yeah. So
You have a movie coming out soon, don't you?
maybe. I have everything.
That's what I'm
Residue.
looking at. And a horror thriller, Incident in a Ghost Land.
That's the one I'm on right now. So that'll probably be out hopefully next year.
When you're doing horror, do you get scared yourself?
Because of the content, absolutely. The mindset I had to be in for this film it's been the hardest film I've ever done.
Really?
It's absolutely insane. It's about these two intruders that are almost like borderline child molesters. Keep us in a basement, me and my sister. They keep us in a basement, and it's about our fighting for our lives and our survival, and it's there's so many neat aspects to it. It'll be nothing like you've ever seen. The two sort of intruders are, one is a man dressed as a woman, and then one is a very large man, and I think he's mentally challenged or something. You're not really sure. Mm-hmm. They don't let you in on it, but yeah, it touches a lot of very, very dark places.
Wow.
It's surreal.
Sounds horrifying.
It's terrifying, because who's to say that it couldn't happen? There's no aliens or ghosts or any sort of sci-fi thing like that makes it a little bit, you can come back and go, okay, but who's to say that couldn't happen? It's those could be two very real people living out there.
Right.
And there is stuff that happens like that. So that's what's so incredibly terrifying about it.
Oh boy. Well, I'm looking forward not to like the content, but to seeing you act through that, because I'm sure it's very compelling.
I've never been to such dark places and emotional places, and the director's very visionary, and he can talk me into some very dark places. We'll cut and I can't stop, like
Crying.
Uncontrollably, like racking sobs.
How do you get out of that after?
It takes 5-10 minutes, and it was really hard the first couple weeks. I found it really hard. I was taking my work home with me, and it was very traumatic on my body and my mind, and I've never really had that. I've always been able to go, I can leave this at home or leave this at work and then go home and be Taylor again. But I was very depressed the first couple weeks. I was by myself. I hadn't seen my family in a really long time, and I was missing them, and I felt very lonely. But I made some friends out there, so it's brought a lot of light to the situation, and it taught me a lot about, because I'm still very green to acting, and it's all a huge learning process for me, and it taught me a lot about pushing myself and where my boundaries lie, and
How did you learn to get out of it though? Because you said the first few weeks, then you found a way.
I don't know. It's you couldn't really put it into words, but it's just about separating the mindsets and coming to work, and so I try to leave it. I'll leave it on set. Like I won't even, when I come to work, I'll be Taylor in the chair, I'll be Taylor in my trailer, I'll be Taylor traveling to set, and I get there and I sit in place, and then my character's name is Vera. I let Vera come to life. Yeah. So it's been very dark and traumatic, but the girl I'm working with, her name's Amelia Jones. She's been in lots of big stuff. She's absolutely incredible actress, incredible person. We're very, very close because of it, and we became very, very close very fast. And I'm the older sister, so I'm taking care of her. So that was, I resonated with that, because
You have a younger sister, right?
I have 2 younger sisters.
Wow.
And a little brother, and they are everything to me. They're my best friends. And I didn't realize that growing up. I mean, like bully them and push them down the stairs and all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
but
it's a blast.
Yeah, it's a
Especially
blast
for them.
Yeah, then my brother got taller than me, and I was like, oh, this isn't a great idea so
Sorry,
much
I did
anymore.
that.
I was like, yeah, about that thing I did. Sorry. No, but yeah, they're such great, amazing people. All I can do is just thank my parents every day for giving me such amazing people to grow up with. They're so cool. They're just great people, and
What do they think about this whole industry you're in?
they'd be excited for me no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to be a dental assistant, if I wanted to be a firefighter, a lawyer, they wouldn't care. Scientology, if I completely changed my mind and was like, yeah, I want to be an astronaut, they'd be like, go for it, do it. And as long as I'm being realistic and I'm taking it seriously, because at first my dad was very skeptic about acting, and I was driving very dangerous roads to go to acting, and
Literally
for auditions.
dangerous roads.
Very dangerous roads. I was driving the Coquihalla. There's a show about it. I don't know if it's like Highway to Hell or something. One of those shows, Ice Road Truckers or something. But it's featured on. It's one of the most dangerous roads in North America in the wintertime. It's the Coquihalla, and I was driving 4 hours to Vancouver, doing my audition, driving 4 hours home. So I was doing that 3-4 times a week when I first began acting. And
That's dedication.
yeah. And, I was like, I wasn't sure. I was like, do I want this? And then 3 weeks after I signed, I booked that, and I was like, got my first taste of it. And I was like, yeah, I'd like to push and see if this goes anywhere else. And then but my dad, until I booked my first role, he's like, when I told him, I was like, yeah, Anthony Hopkins is going to be in this, and I'm going for it. And, Ray Liotta and Julia Stiles, and I'm like, this is amazing and stuff.
And that wasn't a speaking role?
No, that was my first role ever, but there was no speaking. It was very,
What
very
were you
small.
doing in that?
I just played a drug addict, and I was coming out of a meth lab, Ray Liotta's meth lab. And then,
I
the
love
usual.
going there.
Oh, yeah.
It's delicious
favorite
meth.
place. Oh. And then I was walking past, I had to walk past Tony, and then bump him. And so he takes note of the number on the motel door. So yeah, it's just like, it's very, very small, and then you can kind of see us trailing off in the background. But I got to meet and work with them, which was all that mattered to me,
Right.
It was crazy, and it was my first kind of slip out of Hollywood, and I was like, this is incredible. I want to keep pushing for this. And my dad was getting upset. He's like, you're taking very serious risks driving there. And he said, like, all you've ever wanted was music. And he was brought up with a musical background too. And, that was what we had in common. He plays with me and writes with me.
Right.
And so that's our time together. And, my dad, all I ever want for him is to be proud of me. And everyone's like, oh, well, is that like a bad place to come from? I'm like, no, because my mom, she's always proud of me. She's just like overly like, I love you so much.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's such a mom.
I feel like we're a kindred spirit.
Yeah, she's
this
such a
is
mom.
my exact scenario.
But my dad he's very honest. So he'll be like, yeah, you were amazing here. He's like, this was great. You could work on this, and that it doesn't that hurt your feelings? I'm like, no, because he's being honest, and I'm getting the truth. And yeah, I look back and I do need to work on that, because if they're just saying you're great, how am I going to improve?
It's not helpful.
It's not helpful. It's just like,
I
feel good about my and that's what my mom's there for. She makes my head like this, and my dad goes like this. So they're a great pair. But
it's important to have that yin and yang.
yeah. But my mom's just like, I love you. Good job. And I'm like, yeah, I love you, Mom. Okay. And she's like, yeah. She's super nerdy and has like super nerdy mom puns and stuff. But my dad is just, he's very serious about the industry, and he's very skeptical. And at first, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna prove to him I can do this, because he thinks I'm just taking a risk, and the main thing was he thought I was gonna hurt myself and let myself down, because he's like, what are the odds? And then I booked this, and he was like, okay. And then
After 3 weeks too, do you know how like rare that is? You're an anomaly. People will be out here for 10 years and never book anything like you have and be going toward it. So you've got a God-given talent. Just keep going with that. Keep your heart pure. Keep with the people you grew up with. That's so important. They'll keep you sane. They'll keep you normal, because people in this industry are cuckoo pants. Like, some of them are great, obviously you've met, but like there are people who will try to bring you down because they're jealous
absolutely.
or they're just mentally imbalanced.
I've come across a few.
Yeah, but you know what to do.
just
You
feel bad.
Keep a distance, send them love and positivity. But
Absolutely.
yeah, that's really incredible that you did that so fast. And keep
you
toward
so
the
much.
music too, because that's your heart.
It's someone told me, one of my the producers and writers of Aftermath said, music always waits for you. And I thought that was so beautiful, and I was like, you know what, it's something I always have that to fall on.
Yeah.
And I always carry it with me, and I sing every day, and it brings me so much life, and it makes me who I am. So, you know, I always have that, no matter what.
Yeah, no one can
matter.
take your talent away from you.
Thank you.
It's true.
But yeah, you know, I've come across people like that, but I was told the people you meet and work with on the way up are the same ones you'll see on the way down. And I live by that. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, there are so many people and with different skill sets and at different levels, and they're all rooting for me. That's incredible to me. They're all just, they believe in me, and they have, you know, they see potential in me. Like, what? How could you ask for more than that? That's just mind-blowing to me, that, you know, people believe in me enough to grant me with these incredible opportunities. And yeah, the people you see on the way up are the people you see on the way down.
Yeah, you always have to be kind.
In any aspect of your life, I want people to remember that, for sure.
All right. I think they will now. I mean, gosh, that's a great story. Aftermath, is the season about to end, or did it just end? Tell me.
The season, I think there's 2 more episodes.
2 more
left.
episodes. Okay, so when can we watch that, and where?
They're on every Tuesday. Sci-Fi in the States, Space Channel in Canada.
That's fun. Space Channel.
Yeah, Space Channel. And then I think it's 5 Star in the UK, and one other thing. I think it's on USA Network or something. I
really?
don't know. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, but American.
I know
Network?
it's definitely sci-fi, because I watched it for when we had it on
there's
Ann.
Sci-Fi, and then there's one other one in the States that it plays on. It might be like an online thing, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Nice.
Yeah, if you look it up, you'll find more on
It's
it.
a great show.
It's
So much is going on.
I like, I'll do ADR for it, and I'm like, I don't, like, I remember living this. I'm like, I can't keep up with the.
There's so many
so
things.
much.
There's so many beings.
I'm like
and-
wondering how. I'm like, what the hell could the writers possibly have planned for season 2? I'm like, did
Maybe
they not
they
just
went to the crack or
spend
meth
their
lab.
like? That's what I'm thinking. They're like, what are your writers on, and where can I find it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. Oh my gosh.
Any hints about what we're gonna see at the end of the season?
You're gonna see some serious family fighting, family fighting for their lives, and fighting for someone in particular. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it leaves a lot of doors open for season 2, and it puts a lot of weight on my character. But that's what I'll leave you with. It puts a lot of weight on the family in general, I think.
Wow.
A lot of weight on the family in general, but it leaves a lot of doors open.
What
Should
a
be interesting to
tease.
see how it comes together. Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited.
Me
And
too.
anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this baby up?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me here.
Oh
and
my gosh.
You have a beautiful city and beautiful studio, and thank you so much for being so awesome.
You are truly a pleasure. I
Thank you.
can't wait to see you go all the way to the top.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being with me. Tell them where they can find you on Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff one more time. You can talk to that camera.
You can find me on Twitter at Taylor Hickson, Instagram Taylor.Hickson, and Facebook's just Taylor Hickson. Find me there.
And I'm Lauren LoGrasso. You can find me at Lauren LoGrasso on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And thank you so much, Taylor. You're wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning into AfterBuzz TV, and we will see you soon.
Till next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.